Tonight on NewsLink Indiana, members of the Muncie community come together to protest the Exide plan. Hear what changes the protesters are hoping to see coming up.
And local districts are putting new procedures in place to combat the threat of an active shooter. We have the latest up next.
It was a beautiful Monday in central Indiana today. Lots of sunshine, temperatures topped out in the mid-50s. I'll let you know how long the sunshine will stick around coming up later in the full forecast.
From Ball State Unified Media, this is NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Cameron DeBlasio.
And I'm Esther Bauer. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Well, nothing has changed at the Exide Technologies facility on Muncie's south side, and neighbors say that's the problem. They staged a rally on Sunday to protest what they say is lead pollution. NewsLink Indiana's Chris Robinson was there and has more.
What do we want? When do we want it? Now!
Members of the rally included community leaders, residents, and even Ball State students and professors.
Now, Exide has been here for a really long time, and I suppose it's possible that they have behaved in a much different way here. But if you look at their record of violations in Muncie, it doesn't inspire confidence.
This rally comes after the Indiana Department of Environmental Management declined to hold a public hearing on Exide's application to renew its operating permit.
So I don't know what they're doing, and that's just our point. As citizens of this community, we do not know what they're doing. And there's been no independent testing done to determine whether our air is safe, whether our soil is safe, whether our water is safe.
Some parts of the community lack a water system and have to pull from private wells, which raises safety concerns among residents.
These are really serious questions, and when you see the history of violations and you see that these other communities had to fight so hard just to get their questions answered, there is no wonder that we're here today.
Exide Technologies was unavailable for comments. Chris Robinson, NewsLink Indiana.
For more information on Protect Muncie, follow them on Facebook at protectmuncie-say no to Exide.
A lack of fire hydrants is to blame for challenges this morning on East Ashwood Drive. This forced the fire department to load water into trucks and transport it to the scene in the Muncie mobile home community. Officials say the home was fully engulfed in flames when they arrived on scene. Gas to the home was shut off. No one was home at the time of the blaze, and no one was injured.
Yorktown Elementary School has reviewed safety precautions for students after the Parkland shooting. NewsLink Indiana's Samantha Erzman shows us how the school addresses mental health and lockdowns.
Yorktown Elementary School has implemented teacher and student empowerment when it comes to school safety.
We have several educational plans and lockdowns or drills that we do. We follow the state guidelines of what we need to do, but we also throw in like a lockdown practice during lunch so that students that are more in a chaotic environment are empowered to take it upon themselves to know where to go in case of emergency when an adult may not be there.
Yorktown also enforces door policies to keep students safe.
Have a policy where all of our doors in the building are locked, and so all classroom doors are locked, and we lock down our library.
Student mental health is addressed from day one.
Getting the students the help they need, that begins in kindergarten, really. The moment they walk through that door, you want to create a safe and supportive classroom for them. You want to teach children about self-regulation. You want to teach children about brain breaks and how they can self-soothe.
The necessity for mental health services increases annually.
The needs are greater every year for students' mental health needs in the school. We need a lot of services.
In Muncie, Samantha Erzman, NewsLink Indiana.
Now, school safety plans are reviewed by the school district every year.
And along with the preparations Yorktown is taking, Jay County schools are doing something similar. NewsLink Indiana's Brittany Carlin tells us about their new plan.
Jay County schools are taking the steps to allow for safety before school, during school, and after school.
I think it's just a subject that we're willing to tackle.
Superintendent Jeremy Gully isn't waiting for the laws to change.
I would like to see that change be helped by our national leaders and our state leaders. I can't guarantee that. None of us can. So in the meantime, we're going to act locally.
Although right here at Jay County High School they do not have very many threats, they still feel it is important to have an action plan set in place right now.
We've got a 9-point plan. I wanted to put a timeline to that because I want the whole system, the schools and the community and those organizations to work very, very deliberately.
This plan is to help the students feel safe.
Time is the biggest problem. How do you engage that threat in a very short amount of time?
Social studies teacher Paul Zimzak, along with the rest of the staff, are on board.
We can't do anything else as far as teaching and doing our jobs until the kids are safe.
And on March 6th, there will be a county-wide safety school commissions meeting. In Portland, Brittany Carlin, NewsLink, Indiana.
To find out more information about the Jay County School District, you can visit jschoolcorp.org.
Now, while school districts are working proactively to combat active shooters here in Indiana and across the country, the president is reacting to the devastation. President Trump condemned first responders in Florida for their response during the deadly school shooting on Valentine's Day. Trump insists he would have acted heroically in this tragedy. The commander-in-chief made the comments today during a meeting with governors from across the country.
You know, I really believe, you don't know until you test it, but I think I really believe I'd run in there even if I didn't have a weapon.
And Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders clarified Trump's comments, saying the president meant, like any other leader, he would have stepped in and hopefully have been able to help. Sanders said, quote, "I think the point he was making was that he would have wanted to have played a role in that as well."
Well, 7 counties along the Ohio River have been added to the disaster emergency list. Governor Eric Holcomb officially declared the emergencies on Saturday. Now, these are photos from Governor Holcomb's office surveying the damage this weekend. Benton, Clark, Crawford, Floyd, Jefferson, Spencer, and Warwick counties were all added to the list in response to damage caused by heavy rainfall. The Department of Homeland Security can now take necessary action to provide expanded emergency services. Holcomb initially issued a disaster emergency for 11 counties until those 7 were added today. Now, Esther, those counties have obviously been seeing a lot of rain, and we've had a fair amount ourselves, but today was just a completely different story.
We did. We saw the sun break through. It was absolutely beautiful, and I think that Joe mentioned we're going to see that for at least a few more days.
Yeah, good evening, Cameron and Esther. Today was a beautiful day. After a rainy weekend, we had another beautiful day on the way tomorrow, though temperatures today warmed up and in the mid-50s in most places, 55 in Indianapolis. We hit 53 today in Kokomo, 54 in Lafayette. Temperatures head back down a bit tonight. Right now here in Muncie, we are at 43 degrees, but notice we're under clear skies. So expecting clear weather throughout the night tonight. Another clear day in store for tomorrow. We'll have that coming up later, though. We're also tracking a few things here. Spring-like temps on the way for Tuesday. Rain returns to the forecast in the middle of the week, and we'll talk about a mild weekend coming up. That's what's coming up later in the full forecast. Esther?
All right, Joe. Well, we're looking forward to hearing more. Now, SGA wants you to get out and vote. Their newest attempt to get more voters is after the break.
And you can have a say in the future bike and pedestrian routes in Muncie. The details next.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
So I've come up with the family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this. for his sake.
Welcome back. Several bicycle and pedestrian routes have been built throughout Delaware County over the past few years, but they aren't the only routes people will see popping up in the area.
That's right, Cameron. NewsLink Indiana's Kelsey Dickinson is live in Muncie with more on how you can have a say in the locations.
Riding your bike in the street can be a cause for caution, especially when it's dark outside and other vehicles may not be able to see you as well. Bike lanes like this one on Neely Avenue can help provide a safe travel experience for riders, and people in the community are hoping to see more of exactly that. When the weather is nice and the sun is out, people can be found riding their bikes, running, or walking on different trails in Delaware County. The Delaware-Muncie Metropolitan Plan Commission has hired a firm to propose more bike and pedestrian routes in the county as part of their long-range transportation plan.
It provides the infrastructure for active living, which creates a healthier environment for the individual, and also I think is like something that the community can point to, that we are a healthy community.
As part of their proposal, Rundell Ernstberger Associates, the firm hired by the Plan Commission, has surveyed about 130 people to find out where members of the community want to see more bike routes.
We're trying to better connect the communities as a whole within the county, but also just neighborhoods within Muncie.
Muncie resident Jonathan LaPlane frequently rides his bike on Cardinal Greenway and along the White River. He suggests a route that reflects a popular suggestion on the survey.
Some more options downtown. That gets a little bit dicey when you're in the middle of that. Being able to stop at all the shops along there is nice. So anything that gets people down into downtown on the bikes is always good.
According to the survey, other popular suggestions include the removal of a travel lane on Bethel Avenue and more connections leading into Heekins Park. The firm will be submitting up to 20 to 30 routes based on suggestions from the survey by the end of the summer. In Muncie, I'm Kelsey Dickinson, NewsLink, Indiana.
Now, if you would like to take the survey or make a suggestion on future routes, visit bikewalkplan.com.
Several changes to downtown Muncie could be coming soon as the city is looking to redevelop the riverfront. Muncie is spending $1.7 million on 14 properties along Gilbert Street. The properties range from vacant lots to established businesses in the downtown area. One of those businesses is the nonprofit Future Choices. Executive Director Beth Quarles says her organization hasn't been given enough time to find a new location.
We're not prepared. We're talking about maybe 13 to 16 months, if not shorter.
The Redevelopment Commission of Delaware County will meet to discuss this issue again Thursday morning.
And voting for next year's Ball State Student Government Executive Slate opened today. This year's SGA implemented a new addition to elections, voting booths. 3 stations are set up around campus, one in the atrium, another at Bracken Library, and another in the L.A. Pittenger Student Center. The SGA Elections Board hopes this will help get students' attention and encourage them to vote.
We really wanted to get the students more involved in Student Government Association. We decided this before we knew there was going to be just one slate, so we really just want everyone to be involved, and we're hoping that this has actually the highest voter turnout.
And students can also vote the traditional way through a link in their email, and voting closes tomorrow evening at 5. All right, Joe, so what do we have coming up in the weather?
We had a nice day today. Temperatures topped out in the 50s. Over the next few hours, we'll see temperatures back down into the upper 30s. I'll let you know what tomorrow is going to bring coming up after the break.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back, Sylvester. We talked earlier about how great of a day it was today. I mean, I honestly did not see a single cloud in the sky.
Well, I unfortunately still brought my winter jacket,
Well,
so I was kind of sweating,
right.
but I guess that's the price you have to pay. But Joe, you're telling us that we have these temperatures still in the future.
Yeah, a lot of times, we're in February right now. We can warm up. Pretty warm during the day, but temperatures do sit down in the overnight hours in the early morning, so you kind of get fooled on the type of clothing you need to wear. Today we topped out pretty nice across the state. We sat in the mid-50s in most places. 55 degrees in Indianapolis today, 54 in Lafayette, 56 in Bloomington. Tonight temperatures have backed off a bit across the state, currently sitting 44 degrees in our state capital, 39 in Lafayette, and 38 in Bloomington, 39 also in Terre Haute. So a little bit cooler tonight, though temperatures won't back down too far. Currently in Muncie, we're at 43 degrees under clear conditions. Winds out of the south, only at 5 miles per hour, but that southerly wind is going to allow for the temperatures not to fall too far tonight. We'll only see the low temperature tonight be 34 degrees. Conditions will remain clear and calm as we're seated under a dome of high pressure, keeping things clear. That dome of high pressure allows us to set up for a gorgeous day tomorrow. At noon tomorrow, we'll be at 52 degrees, so if you have lunch plans outside maybe not yet, but maybe as you head through a little bit further in spring, we'll be ready for that. But 60 degrees here for the high temperature tomorrow, so a very nice day in store. Again, those southerly winds allowing for temperatures to warm up a bit. Though we do have rain back in the forecast through the upcoming week. On Wednesday, we have a 60% chance of rain. Thursday's the better chance. We'll see an 80% chance of rain, and some of that rain could be heavy. Let's time those rain chances out for you here. Wednesday morning, you wake up, your Wednesday morning commute looks pretty wet, pretty soggy around 8 or 9 a.m. Those rain showers will hang around until about noon on Wednesday. I do think, though, we'll see some clearing as we head into the afternoon hours, maybe just a sprinkle around for your dinner plans on Wednesday. Seated back to the northwest is our next system, which pushes in here on Thursday. It'll begin to push into the state around 6 or 7 a.m. Early on Thursday, making its way to central Indiana by about 10 a.m. This is when we'll see the heaviest rain, so we're expecting anywhere from about 10 to 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll likely see some pretty heavy rains associated with this system for Thursday. But note the next feature, we see some snow coming in here later in the day on Thursday. This is because we're going to see some pretty strong cold air push in behind this system. That could cause some flakes to fly late in the day for us here on Thursday. It won't be anything that should make the roads too hazardous at this point. We're going to watch it pretty closely here for you at NewsLink, but it is kind of interesting that we could see very heavy rains and some snow around for Thursday. Our temperature trends, the other thing of note, we're ending February on a mild note, almost 15 degrees above our average temperature of 41. Meteorological spring starts on Thursday. We're starting still above average for this time of the year, but temperatures are not as warm. And that 7-day forecast, again, rain chances here for the middle of the week, so take advantage of Tuesday. Rain here for Wednesday, more heavy rain here on Thursday with a high temperature of 51 degrees. Again, maybe just a chance of a light flurry here early in the day on Friday. The weekend, though, if you're traveling for spring break, looks clear and mild. Rain back in the forecast for Monday, though. So some relief from the rain we saw last week, although rain is still in play as we're making our way into March.
Definitely. All right, Joe, great information as always. Thanks so much.
And Sam, a strong start to the season for Ball State softball.
Yes, absolutely, Cameron. So coming up in sports, it was a big weekend for the Ball State softball team. We will break down the stats and new information coming out of Schumann Stadium, what Ball State football has planned for the upcoming season after the break.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Samantha Johnson with tonight's sports. Ball State softball picked up a big win Sunday versus Canisius as they won 11-4, improving to 9-3 on the year. The Cardinals were aided by a big fourth inning as they compiled 8 runs on 7 hits to take an 11-3 lead and never looked back. The team was led by Danae King, who went 3 for 3 and added a home run against the Golden Griffins. Now, the Bats have been alive for Ball State so far this year, which was one of the focal points for the team this past offseason.
We're trying to challenge the hitters. We're doing a great job right now of hitting to our strengths. We're trying to be very disciplined at the plate. And when a mistake comes across the white, we're crushing it. The girls have really bought in to the offensive philosophy of trying to hit home runs this season, and you know, they've just done a tremendous job. I'm really, really proud of them.
Now the team is back in action on Friday as they begin the Citrus Classic in Florida versus Fordham. Now, it may still be just February, but college football is right around the corner. Ball State football's spring practice schedule was released over the weekend, and this afternoon the program officially kicked off the beginning of its 2018 season campaign, posting all over social media, "It's time." Players, coaches, and support staff signed social media banners committing to preseason work and in-season success. Even President Mearns got in on the action today. Now, Coach Mike New says the platform for this campaign stems from the 2 years he's had at the SHU, building his team and coaching staff. And going into the spring season, Coach New says it's time to get back out on the field and for Ball State to make its mark in the Mid-American Conference.
We've worked hard over the last 2 recruiting classes to really build our football team, to create competition at every single position, and I feel great about our roster. I like where we're at, and it's simply time for us just to seize the moment that we have, the window of opportunity that we have. We get all of our injured guys back, and it's time for us to do something about it. And when we get on the practice field, we got to make it count.
The social media campaign will carry over into the fall season and then into the postseason next November. To get in on the conversation and to share your own message with the Cardinals, just use the hashtag #It'sTime. Now, guys, we had mentioned the spring schedule, but the regular season schedule was also released last week. There are 5 nationally televised games on the docket, including the September 8th matchup against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and the Cards will kick off the 2018 MACtion on September 29th at home against Kent State.
Very cool, Sam. I'm certainly ready if it's time. I mean, it's been a rough few seasons, so.
Well, and I know my parents have already booked their room for the homecoming game.
Good deal.
So I think
Good
everyone
deal.
here is ready to go. It's very exciting. Sam, thank you very much. And now coming up in trending, we have the scoop about the latest TV villain from The Bachelor.
And one lovable couple is flipping into the restaurant business. We'll tell you who they are and what you can expect from them next in trending.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to the shelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to the shelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back. Time now to take a look at what's trending.
That's right, Cameron, and we're joined with the latest stories. Sarah, how are we doing tonight?
I'm doing great, and if you guys are like me, you love to watch The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. And last night was the Women Tell All of Ari's season, which is always exciting and filled with drama, which is, you know, what we love to watch. So last night, Crystal, one of the TV's most loved to hate women on Ari's show, was put on the hot spot. She told E! News that the response she got from the public is something that she's never been a part of before.
Wow, very interesting.
Especially cast as a villain, and I've never been through a reality TV show. I've never been put in this position to be so publicly criticized for my actions and my character, and it got to me. I took a month off of work after filming. I couldn't be who I needed to be for people, to empower them, because I was so disempowered myself.
Well, I wish I could take a month off work. Can someone sign me up for that?
Nice,
yeah,
right?
Seriously. All right, Sarah, what else do we have tonight?
So HGTV fans, and on top of that, if you're a Chip and Joanna Gaines fan, the HGTV Fixer Upper stars are making a break in the restaurant business. Their new venture, Magnolia Table, opened this morning, and in true Fixer Upper fashion, the couple brought new life into a Waco, Texas landmark that closed in 2016. Now, it was previously known as Elite Cafe. It opened in 1919, and it was actually somewhere that Elvis Presley dined at. Now, Magnolia Table serves breakfast, brunch, and lunch, so it's not open too late. But it has been quite the year for the Gaines family. The couple is expecting their 5th child, and Joanna's cookbook is hitting store shelves in April.
Well, they're a super fun couple to keep up with. Sarah, thank you so much. And Joe, give us that final look.
Take advantage of tomorrow. Tomorrow's a beautiful day, 60 degrees and sunny here. We have rain in the forecast Wednesday and Thursday, but fortunately it looks like your travel plans for Friday will be clear, and the weekend looks clear and sunny. So,
all right, I'll take it, Joe. Thank you. Well, that's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 right here on Cardinal Vision or online at ballstatedaily.com.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a great night.
You've been watching NewsLink Indiana in high definition.